Good morning. In the previous class, we discussed about what is meant by a data warehousing and what is the example in a data warehousing. For example, a sales monitoring system. Today, we will discuss about what is meant by a data mining. As we discussed in the previous class, also it's a simple logic or it is a general knowledge. If there is a person or a customer want to buy a cheese or a milk, automatically there is a 90% of the chances that he is going to purchase a bread. Similarly, there was a one more example we studied. If there is a people with a blood pressure greater than 160 under the age of greater than 65 were at high risk of a heart stroke. So what is the greater diagnostic value for a doctor is who can then focus on the treating such a patient with an urgent care or a greater sensitivity. That is, there may be 80% of chances of a heart stroke also. The age factor, the constraint was more than 65 age and the blood pressure is around 160 and above. So this is about extracting the data, relevant it into the data, then processing the data. That is called as data mining. Now we will see how we can extract the data, how we can relevant it to the data, how we can understand the data and then make it as a quality of the data. So here we are going to study about what is how we can select the data, how we can extract the data. For example, here the total amount of the data in the world is a doubling every 18 months. There is an ever growing avalanche of data coming with higher velocity, with a higher volume and a variety of any data or a huge data. One has to quick use it or it does not lose it. That is one way of collection of a data. To learn from the data, one needs to effectively gather the quality data, clean the data and then organize it data. Please understand, here I am going to collect the quality data or gather the quality data, then I am going to clean the data and then I am going to organize it. So this is a major factors you should remember while collecting and while selecting. Another requires a skill and the technology, that is called as business intelligence. Business intelligence for the consolidation and integration of the data element. There are some data, as we discussed in the previous semester also, some data cannot be interrelated, it cannot inherit, so it is called as a passive data. Then it is very difficult for me to relevant to that existing data. So you should use your skills and technologies for consolidating the data. So this is about gathering and selecting the data. Along with that, you can also know that unstructured data can come in many forms, like in a database, or it may be blogs or images or videos and charts. But still, those unstructured data or the unstructured social media data from the blogs or the cheats or the charts or the tweets, everything we have to convert into a selected data. We have to gather it the data and then we have to take. There is another stream of collecting a data, that is a machine generated data, that is from RFID tags or IoT and so on. Yes, that is also a stream of data. It is also a mode of an unstructured data, but still we have to extract the data, which is very useful for our business intelligence. So the data put in a rectangular data shapes with a clear columns and rows before submitting to the data mining. That is, as we discussed in the previous class, central table. The central table is one tool that is a star schema architecture. Whatever the data I have collected, it has to be undergone for a schema architecture. Similarly, the knowledge of the business domain helps they select the right stream of data for pursuing the insight. That is, data suits the nature of the problem, should be gathered, and then the data element should be relevant to other data, and then we have to analyze the problem. So these are some of the factors and the modes of collecting the data or gathering the data, and then we are going to select the data based on the demand or based on the quality. Now we are going to see how I can clean the data. As we discussed, once collection is done, we have to clean the data before organizing the data. So that is called as a GIGO. GIGO is always, remember, it is a garbage in and a garbage out. That is, the quality of the data is critical to the success and the value of the data mining project. How I can make it as a GIGO? That is a garbage in and garbage out. The quality of incoming data varies by the source and the nature of the data. The data from internal operation is likely to be higher quality, as it will be accurate and consistent. Always remember, the data should have a higher quality, accurate and consistent. Then I can say it is a good quality of data. It is collected from the right source. That is very, very important. That is the nature of the data. Data from the social media or other public sources is less under the control of business and is less likely to be reliable. I cannot extract all the data from the unstructured data. It may be a Facebook or it may be a Twitter. Yes, it is there. There may be images or a blogs, but still the source from where I collected, it's also in a matter in the quality of the data. The data almost certainly needs to be cleansed and transformed before it can be used for data mining. That's what. Once if it is clean, cleans, then only I can use it for organizing. Now we are going to the next mode. There are many ways in what data may be needed to be cleansed, or filling missing values, regaining the efforts, outliers, transforming. Here I can give a small analysis, that is 60 to 70% of the data will comes from the data mining project. Before it has to go for an organizing, it has to go for a GIGO, that is a garbage in and garbage outing. Then it has to be in structured data, then only I can take it as a quality data. So along with that, we can also overcome the duplicate data needs to be removed. To make it as a quality data, automatically duplication is one of the mandatory thing I have to remove. The missing values need to be filled in, others those rows should be removed from the analysis. If there is a dependency behavior or the data is dependent on another data, then automatically I have to extract that data also. Then I have to fill that column also. These are all called as missing values in the data. The data elements need to be transferred from one unit to the another. That is example, here's total cost of the healthcare and the total number of patients may need to be reduced to cost or per patient to allow the compatibility of the value. Continuous value may needs to be blended into a few buckets to help with some analysis. For example, work experience could be binned as a low, medium and high. These are the categories how I can value the data, which is a low data, which is a medium data, which is a high data of a quality. Similarly, data elements may need to be adjusted to make them comparable over the time. For example, currency values may need to be adjusted for inflation. They would need to be converted to the same base year comparability. They may need to be converted to a common currency. These are some of the ways we can cleanse the data, that is by garbaging in and garbaging outing and knowing about the source, then categorizing into quality, whether it is a low or a high or a medium, and then we can send it for organizing. So these are some of the factors of cleaning the data. Not only that, there are many. For example, I'll just data should be brought to the same granularity, because I'm going to use here, you can see the 8th point, I'm going to use the data clustering. I may use the artificial intelligence, that is ANN, artificial neural networks methodology. Different technologies we are going to apply, different data visualization we are going to use once if we collected the data. So that is called as here a same granularity to ensure the comparability. Sales data may be available daily, but the salesperson compensation data may only be available. So these are some of the ways we can think about the selection of the data and gathering the data. Now what is the output of this data? The output of the data can be in the form of a regression, equation, mathematical function, represent the best fitting curve. These are all the output of the data mining, my dear students. Always remember it is in a visualization. How we are going to represent the data, how we are going to picturize the data, that whatever the values you have given to the data, what is the mode of data you collected, what is the quality of the data you collected. So these are the next coming topics we'll study, visualization of a data. So data mining techniques can serve a different types of objectives. The outputs of the data mining will reflect the objective being served. There are many representation of the outputs of the data mining. Now I am going to summarize what and all we studied in the data mining. Now you can see here, first we collected a small, what is the definition of an data mining and how I am going to take up the best future of data mining. It is a multidisciplinary, it is a knowledge and a skill, and it is going to multidisciplinary process. It is a valid data, novel data, and then how the business intelligence can be taken up in the data mining. Then how what are the modes of gathering the data, different ways we can collect the data and select the data. There are almost we can apply here. We can always remember the data should be put in the rectangular shapes, because as we told, the data we may collect in the form of a video, I may form in the collecting of images, I may collect it from the blogs, but however you please remember, once we are collecting the data, we must know the source, from which source you collected and what is the quality of that source, whether it is a valid or it is a novel, whether it is a reliable, then only we can access of the data. So these are some of the streams I am collecting, but however there are some data, it is a machine generated, but still however it has to undergo for a processing. So then once if we collected, then we have to go for a different methodology of cleaning the data. So cleaning the data may be required about missing the data may be there. You have to you have to take that data also, and then you have to invert into the process. That is about the missing the data. Now we are going to take up the output can be in the form of how the once if you done cleaning, organizing, gathering, selecting, then how I can take up. Always remember, my dear students, once the correction is done, once the selection is done, Now talks about the output. Output may be in terms of data mining techniques,